9/11 was the worst and greatest day in the history of America. It killed almost 3,000 people, like 2,700 in New York, and then the other 300 in Pennsylvania and Washington. There was 25,000 people in the World Trade Center, and most of them got out. That is something to be revered.
Lieutenant Richard Mack. Richard Mack served with the NYPD for 26 years. Welcome.
Thank you, Robert. I worked down at Ground Zero doing recovery, not really much rescue.
I saw a bit of a video and what took place during the course of that video where officers were out at Staten Island sifting through, and I can't imagine. Can you talk about that a bit?
Sure. I mean, to be honest, in some ways, the Staten Island landfill was worse than Ground Zero. Mm-hmm. It really seemed almost like you were working on another planet. It was a newly closed landfill that they converted to take all materials from Ground Zero to be sifted again. And the commanding officer of the landfill would always tell us we were there for one primary goal, and that was to find body parts to give families closures.
You pointed to something, that the attack on the World Trade Center and the building's collapse, a catastrophic collapse, actually turned into something that was even greater, which is the rescue. It was the largest rescue of this country's ever seen. Can you talk about that?
9/11 was the worst and greatest day in the history of America. It killed almost 3,000 people. Like 2,700 in New York, and then the other 300 in Pennsylvania and Washington. And the main thing I tell people is, listen, it was one of the worst days, but one of the greatest days. It was one of the greatest rescues. There was 25,000 people in the World Trade Center, and most of them got out. And that is something to be revered. And the other thing was, the police officers coming from all around the country and firemen. And I remember getting stopped by New Jersey state troopers on the West Side Highway asking me for identification. And to be honest, I loved it because it showed that we were all in it together. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Lower Manhattan, and my mother worked across the street originally from the World Trade Center. So I really grew up down there. And, I think I had mentioned to you also about the movie Boat Lift, which was a short 10-minute documentary. It's on YouTube. And it talks about how how many people were evacuated from Lower Manhattan via boat, because all personnel, all transportation was shut down. So the only way people could get out of Manhattan was either by boat or walking across bridges back home.
The worst of the times, but the best of the times in what humanity had to offer within New York and the surrounding areas, the entire country, to be honest with you.